So what value can the back-to-back days off have for your team?
I think it's really good for our team. I think just having a couple days to kind of unwind a little bit after that tough stretch, and then get back to practice and get going. And obviously we have an early game on Saturday, so we'll have a couple days of practice, and then we'll treat Friday as kind of the day of the game, shoot around type.
Did you do anything non-opponent specific this week with your practice time, or did you just jump right into Michigan State?
No, we jump right into Michigan State, but we always work on things for us, no matter who we're playing. And then obviously it's kind of scout specific on what they do.
Break down Michigan State for us, if you could here.
Right. I think their ability to push the basketball, especially at home, is always a concern. You have to got to make good decisions and take good shots and set your defense first of all. If you're going to help them by turning the basketball over, like you're going to put yourself in some tough spots, they're probably going to get into the bonus pretty quick. And so I think that's first and foremost, taking care of the basketball, taking good shots, and trying to keep them at a transition to the best of your ability. And then keep them off the glass. They've always been really good rebounding the basketball and don't allow second chance opportunities. And then be able to, withstand and be able to play through, their physical play. They're year in and year out, maybe they're not the most physical in one particular year, but consistently they're the most physical. They use their fouls. They're going to get very aggressive in the post. They're going to chuck cutters, things like that. You got to be able to play through it and not complain and start officiating. Just, be able to still make a play and fight through that contact and get the basketball, especially when the ball's loose.
Are they still that kind of typical Michigan State team this year?
I think so. I think, especially, I like Bingham on the interior and his ability to block shots. Then I think with Hall and Hauser, both of those guys are very interchangeable. They can be physical, but they all can drive the basketball, make threes. So they give them kind of that inside-outside presence. I think Marbles played really well. His ability to score, knock down open jumper, score around the basket. And so from what I've watched, they are. I think you have tough stretches of conference play, then you have some stretches that nobody would call easy, but they're not as tough. They've just been through a tough stretch here, and all of us have those tough stretches.
When you focus on yourself at this stage of the year, are you tweaking things, or are there still some areas that really need to get cleaned up as you head into the next part of this season?
It's really just focusing on the same things, even if we were doing well in them, just because it can rear its ugly head, especially with turnovers. Defensively, it's been more of a concentration and a communication thing that we've really talked about a lot with our guys, just keeping your focus, helping each other, keeping your defense connected. So just getting them from a detail-oriented, we're not the most detail-oriented team defensively. And that, that can always improve, that can always get better. But as you get to this point, and you've still been inconsistent in those areas, it's a concern. But when you're inconsistent, it means you're doing things well at times. You're not doing them over the course of time, but you're still doing them. You're just not awful at it, and that's not where we are. So just trying to get the communication ramped up, and I think that helps our defense. I know that helps our defense. But then offensively, just working on the same things. Especially in terms of being able to go fast but under control and not turn the ball over.
Are you seeing more periods of your defense being connected for longer stretches?
You run into some people like Rutgers that are tough shot makers, and sometimes when they make those tough ones, like you live with those. And then other times you have breakdowns. But our defense is better, especially when we play better offensively and we don't turn it over. So we have 7 turnovers in the last game that we help our cause. Because we don't turn the basketball over, but just the ability to stay connected and the ability to not have breakdowns helps us. And I think we had more possessions in that game, but but we still had some breakdowns in that game. But I think also, they cause it. I think they're a tough matchup.
Zach and Travion over this recent stretch, they're combined to basically lead you guys in assists.
Yeah.
What does that tell you about how your offense is working when they're getting making those kind of plays?
Yeah, when we run some things for Sasha, and obviously it puts him in a position to score the basketball. And he can get, if you want to stay one-on-one, you're going to see like Sasha and Eric Hunter get more assists. If you want to double us or mess with us or scrape or run at the post guy, you're going to see those guys get more. So it's really more determined on what other people are doing. So if they're going to take us away in that area, then those guys are going to get more assists. Now with Travion, we put him in position in the high post and run things off of him in the low end, the high post, where Zachary, he might get it in the high post, but it's going to be more handoffs. We try to keep him away from those sets.
Are you the only person who calls him Zachary?
I don't know, and I don't know why I call him Zachary, but I do. It is his, government name. I would guess his mom probably does. So he just seems like he deserves his full name being said.
So, for these last 3 regular season games to go your way, or go the way you want them to go, for you guys to play as well as you can, what's the thing that has to fall into place? Is it the turnovers? Is it the defensive detail? I know you'll say both, but...
It is both, but if I had to pick one or the other, it's the turnovers. When we give ourselves a chance offensively, we've proven that we've had a lot of success. Doesn't mean it's foolproof and you're going to win every single game, but so far it's pretty close.
Just going back to the days off, I guess, a little bit over your years as a coach, do you in any way try to influence or encourage some of your players to do specific things on day offs to kind of, I guess, get the most out of those days to kind of refresh themselves?
It depends on who you are. If you're a heavy minute guy, also if you're fast twitch muscle versus kind of slow twitch, you're going to recover a lot quicker when you're a fast twitch muscle guy. But no, they do the massages and yoga and stretch and, spend time in the weight room and, things of that nature. So just the normal things. But I think a lot of days off has to do with more the mental than the physical. You just need to get away from it a little bit.
It's never hard to keep guys out of the gym on some of those days off. Guys like Jaden Ivey talked about, coaches kind of tell them to stay away from basketball, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, anytime you can just take a full, complete day and not come in, I think it helps. But a lot of guys have their routine and they like sticking with their routine.
Yeah.